Welcome to TMI. Sports Gone Wrong, Part 2. Boogie Board. Like many who swim and surf at coastal beaches, the Mountain View man arrived in Santa Cruz, California with boogie board and flippers and headed into the Pacific Ocean. However, the north end of Monterey Bay is bounded by rocky cliffs. Surfers tend to gather in areas where there are good waves but few rocks, thus avoiding the dangerous spots where waves are likely to sweep swimmers against the cliffs. On January 24, 2014, the man was noticed swimming out to ride the waves. Apparently, he either missed or disregarded warning signs not to swim in this area. A high surf warning was in effect, and the Santa Cruz Fire Department was patrolling the area. Lifeguards riding another watercraft tried to get out to the man to warn him of the danger. He ignored their warnings and continued to paddle further into the water. A series of waves swept in and crashed over his head shortly after that warning, sending him crashing into the rocks. Swimmers dispatched to try to save him failed. He was declared dead at the hospital. Jumping to safety. A man who was returning from a day of skiing was in a van with friends. The brakes on the van failed, leading to an uncontrolled descent. That's when the man decided to jump out of the moving car before it plunged off a cliff. But before, he kept his passengers informed about the brake issue. Fortunately, one of the other passengers intervened and stopped the van, saving the day. After turning around and walking back up the hill, they discovered that the driver had killed himself by fatally misjudging his leap to safety and hitting his head on the pavement. There were no other injuries. Stretched out. The body of a 22-year-old was discovered by Reston, Virginia, police. The man reportedly attempted to bungee jump off a 70-foot bridge when he died. He had tied multiple bungee cords together, refusing to use commercial cords. Confident that he had precisely measured out the cord's total length, just under 70 feet, he fastened his belt firmly, tied the other end to the bridge, and leaped. The man was apparently unaware of the fact that bungee cords stretch. Slippery slope. On October 28, 2019, a 47-year-old man was live streaming his ascent of the 12,389-foot high Mount Fuji, 62 miles west of Tokyo. The top of the volcano was ice-covered on the day of his ascent, along with a layer of snow. He started his climb during the cold Japanese winter with no more than the clothes on his back, tennis shoes, and 2 hiking poles. No ice spikes or winter attire to keep him warm. He told his viewers that his hands were numb, but he continued to operate his smartphone. His viewers encouraged him to trek on. Later, he would lament that he should have brought heat packs. His climb up the ice-covered volcano had not gone as planned. Finally, his audience heard him say that he was slipping. He ended up sliding down the ice-packed mountain, unable to stop himself until he fell over a cliff and stopped only when reaching the bottom. He didn't make it. Highmarking. A 43-year-old Fairbanks resident was driving his snowmobile at a high speed while highmarking. Highmarking is when the driver of a snowmobile attempts to travel as far up a mountainside as they can before turning around and descending the hill without losing power, rolling the machine, or becoming stuck. That day, avalanches were expected due to the conditions. The man had, in fact, set off an avalanche earlier in the day and ended up buried up to his waist. This would be a warning to the average person, or at the very least indicate to them that they should stop. However, this dedicated snowmobiler didn't. He ended up setting off a second, larger avalanche that killed him. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more.